What's going on to all of my Scorpios out there? So for you Scorpios, right, let's get into it. Okay, so one more shuffle. For you Scorpios, you have the Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles, High Priestess, Six of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the World, and last but not least, the Empress. So um there we go. So for you Scorpios, right, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, all of these things speaks to um okay. So honestly, it speaks to your humility, because the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, just represents how, you know, sometimes when it comes to yourself, sometimes when it comes to finding a significant other, sometimes you want to essentially start playing games yourselves, because you think that sometimes you think, maybe if you were to start playing games the way that you used to back in the day, maybe you were a Scorpio and you just never started in the first place, right? Maybe you thought, you know, if you're a Scorpio, whether or not you never started, or you started, or you were playing games back in the day, or you used to play games, you Scorpios are thinking that maybe if you played games, things would be much easier for you as far as dating is concerned, or getting to know other people. The and that's what the Queen of Wands represents. But the Page of Pentacles and the High Priestess represents. But you have to remember, and you have remembered, that ultimately, this isn't something that you can really. This thought process is something that you can't really ever get yourself caught up in, because you understand that at the end of the day, if you get yourself caught up in that type of scenario where you really begin to think that maybe you should just start playing games, you will have essentially ruined your own value. Because, to put it bluntly, the people who are in the dating pool playing games are people who, they're not they are lower, they have lowered their own value, because they're wasting their own time, whether they know it or not. They think that they're wasting somebody else's time, but they can't see that they're wasting their own time as well. So these are people, in essence, who doesn't really understand. They don't really understand that the only person that they are ruining is ultimately their own selves. Now, the High Priestess represents how it is that should a lot of you are actually kind of doing your Scorpio thing, and not necessarily hanging out with anybody, communicating too much with anybody, too much, calling anybody. Because you Scorpio, y'all are a zodiac sign that goes on hiatus, where a lot of y'all will kind of be kind of like, there's times where y'all will be sociable, and then there's times where people won't hear from you in weeks. The Six of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles is about what you've been doing within those weeks, is processing your own feelings, processing your own emotions, and, you know, learning how to get over those issues that you have had from dating in the past, and how people have betrayed your trust. Working, right? Obviously, making money, trying to make sure that you keep yourselves on track, because Scorpio can sometimes be a zodiac sign. I grew up with Scorpios. My uncles is one of my uncles is of many uncles that I have genetically by blood. One of my uncles is a Scorpio. So the situation is that this is something for you where, again, you have to take into consideration that don't take anything too personally, right? And understand to forgive yourself and forgive them. And that's what it is that you Scorpios are doing. You Scorpios are staying focused because you understand that idle hands being emotional is not a very good mix. It's not a very constructive mix. It's not a very astute mix for you. You Scorpios will do things sometimes that will end up getting you in a terrible position, worse than where you were before, because you feel so deeply. So a lot of you Scorpios have been keeping your head on the straight and narrow, right? Being focused, having keeping your eyes on the prize. What's the prize? Yourself. The Two of Pentacles and the Four of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune is that as of right now, like I said, you're going through that month period. Some of you, right? The ones that this reading applies to, you're going through that month period within your own self where, again, it takes 1 week to break a habit if you don't engage in the habit, and it takes 3 weeks to create a healthy new habit, right? So that's an entire month. Okay. A lot of times people get themselves in relationship after relationship after relationship, and they do that because they think, they're essentially branching off, right? And this is where it is that people say, the best place to get over somebody that you broke up with is to essentially get with somebody else. No, that's terrible advice. That's terrible advice. I'll tell you what that's going to do. What that's going to do is create more damage than what you were originally supposed to have the first time around. So again, take that type of stuff into consideration. Okay? Take a month off. You Scorpios have been taking that month off, and things have been good. Your money's been stockpiling. That's great, right? You're looking better than you were before. The next step for you Scorpios in particular, because I'm not going to counsel the zodiac signs every single way, right? The next thing for you Scorpios is to maintain this level of self-worth that you have. Don't inflate your self-worth. Keep it grounded while at the same time you have self-respect. Because what happens with Scorpios, right? Because I'm reading for y'all. What happened with Scorpios is y'all can act like, I'm on point. I'm on top. Look at me. And then when you get somebody that looks good or you like, what'll happen is then you'll start to forget about your own selves a little bit. Then you'll start to stop thinking about yourselves a little bit. Then you get yourself right back into that same situation that you were 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 2 months, 6 months ago, where you're on this journey where it's about, you're going to focus on yourself. You're going to make yourself important, things of this nature. But what you Scorpio sometimes forget is what you fail to do is to maintain that level of self-respect and decency. And the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune represents just that. You will be tempted right now because you'll see some people, certain things will move around in your life where some fine individuals will come around you, and you'll look at them, and you're going to be tempted. That's what the Two of Pentacles represents. The Four of Swords is them knowing that they fine, but they're waiting on you to come to them. For some of you Scorpios who make it here, the Wheel of Fortune and the world, some of you Scorpios will get caught up with this. But I'm telling you this so that way you can see through what's going on, so that if you want to change the circumstances when you're trying to get to know this person, you could change the circumstances and stuff like this. If this reading is bringing you value, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called the link tree. Click on it. It'll be able to navigate you to my books on Amazon, private tarot readings, because it'll say private tarot readings. You can click private tarot readings. That'll take you directly to my website, which you have my rates as well as my services. And then you'll click donate. It's a clickable button. If you have PayPal, you can fill that out, fill out your information, send me the money, right? For the rates is concerned. Or if you don't want to do all of that, you can go ahead and email me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com. My Teespring store, which has clothing on it, is also in the link tree. Okay, from shirts, pants, hoodies, coffee mugs. Come through. I am available for personal reading today, or you can purchase any one of my other amazing content or services that I provide for y'all. Love y'all anyway. Thank you. So, for the Scorpios that have seen through this and understand what's going on, you Scorpios are going to look at this and you're going to graduate to hear the world. Because you will have seen that this is a cycle that happens for Scorpio. Because Scorpio, right? Is again, Scorpio. One of the things that Scorpio share with Virgo, with Gemini, with Pisces is sadomasochism. So it's this idea of you're trying to get to know people, people treat you like trash, or you end up treating other people like trash. And one of the ways for you to get out of that revolving wheel is to, is to see things for the way that it is and to start making your own decisions. Now, for you Scorpios, like I said, y'all have a relationship with sadomasochism too. It originates from Virgo, but obviously Scorpio used to share a zodiac sign with Virgo. Gemini shares a planet with Virgo, and Pisces is the opposite sign of Virgo. So you can kind of see the relationship between the two. But you Scorpios go through this cycle a lot. Where you get to a point where it's about yourself because you just got yourselves out of a messed up relationship, a dysfunctional one. You stop messing with them. You're in a situation where you have to recoup yourself, regenerate. You focus on yourself, and then you fall right back into the same scenario that you were in, where now it's about you being in that type of situation where you have to learn to find your own self-worth again after you and this person had a falling out. But when you got yourselves into this relationship, you were on point. They were feeling you. And the Wheel of Fortune in the world represents for you Scorpios that have graduated to where you can see it and not get trapped in the Wheel of Fortune of reliving this, right? You Scorpios who graduated that, you have to understand that this is what it is. The universe, you are essentially testing yourself. This is a test. You are supposed to be able to see through your own desires, your own desires to want to find somebody and rise above even that, and not necessarily look at only their outer beauty or their appeal, if you catch my drift, but to actually question who they are and understand their internal value as well as their external value without skewing what's going on. And what I mean when I say without skewing it, I mean if the person is promiscuous and the person is letting you know directly that they're promiscuous, this is not a time for you to actually still get together with them and then try to put these people in a relationship. They just told you that they go from person to person to person to person to person. So you have to remember that and deal with them accordingly. Then the things that the Empress represents, or you're going to end up here yet again, where, or you're going to end up here yet, or you should end up here, which is you Scorpios understanding when people are showing you who and what they are and you having to believe them and being able to make better decisions on who you should hang out with and who you should not. Let's clarify the Empress. Let's clarify the Empress. One more shuffle. Here we go. All right. So To clarify the Empress, we have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Moon. Right, exactly. The Ace of Wands and the Knight of Swords is about, because you've been down this road before, right? You know where this road, ends. You know that you know that you Scorpios have a problem with people who are very attractive, beautiful, enticing at first, and you can have as much money as you want and be as fly as you want at the very beginning. But you Scorpios know that you mess up when you interact with people who are gorgeous to you and look good, but internally they are letting you know that they are dysfunctional directly, openly, when you ask them. That's one of the powers of Scorpio, merely asking and you'll get the answer. And yet you still decide to interact with them, and it ends up like this, a crisscross. Because now it's you can't come to grips with the understanding that if you keep getting into these types of relationships because you're not understanding that you need to change who you are, because you need to understand why you need to change who you are. Because sometimes your because your view of what a relationship is dysfunctional. So you can't, so the thing is that you may end up looking fly and getting some money in your pocket, and you attract a lot of people. But at the same time, again, those people end up being in the game. And then you end up falling into the same cycle that you used to be in. So the Seven of Cups and the Moon now represents, again, there's people who are coming to you right now. Right now, they're going to be in the game. And the thing is that for you, right, and here come the games. The games start. The Moon represents, you have to learn to duck out from those people. If these people are, going to be dysfunctional, you have to learn to, once you start seeing some things about them, you have to learn to stay away from that. You have to learn to become a judge of better character. But that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June of this year. Right now, we're at 4,206 subscribers. Please smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos.